guys, welcome back to another Fibers in the Wind video, or welcome to the channel if you're new. In today's video, we are going to be doing a Hobby Lobby I Love This Cotton Yarn review, and let's just get started. First off, I'm going to show you the yarns that I have, and then I'll show you a more in-depth of like what a worked up sample looks like, and then give you all my thoughts and all my opinions on this yarn. So I have this really beautiful I Love This cotton in white. Their white is just really white, and I like how white their white is. It is like bright white. It's very beautiful. I love it. This is the one I'm currently working with. I love this cotton, and this is in the color Rosy. It is a very, very, very beautiful, beautiful yarn color. And then the other one that I haven't used yet is their more rainbow color, and it is in the color Brights. This is also another really fun, beautiful, lovely yarn. So I'm just going to show you on the table here what the yarn looks like worked up in sample, because I am using it for a new pattern design. Stay tuned for that, and then we'll compare it with some samples from some other cotton yarn. Okay, so this is a sample that I've been working on. It's actually a pattern design for a crochet tank top that I am making. This is a more thicker, denser fabric, and I'll explain to you why in just a second. I want to fold it so you kind of get a better idea of what it's looking like. It's hard to get this all on camera, but up here is where the strap is, and then this is part of one of the bust areas. And same on this side. Now for this particular pattern, I am using a 4mm crochet hook. The label does recommend that you use a 5.5mm, so I'm using a whole size and a half smaller than recommended for the yarn. And that's one thing I love about this particular yarn, is that even though I used a whole size and a half smaller, it still worked just fine. It was easy to crochet with a hook size that small. I didn't have any issues, and it was still able to work. Now when doing that, it is going to make a thicker, denser fabric, but it still worked up just as beautifully and as nice as it would have if I were to use the recommended hook size or a larger hook size. So that is just what this is. It is a 4-weight medium, and the swatch is a 4x4 square, 12 single crochet wide by 15 rows tall. It is very beautiful. It's just very nice. It does and will have a little less flowy drape if you use a smaller hook size like I did in this sample. But if you use at least the hook size that it requires or bigger, you'll get a more flowier drape. But that's just what I chose to use for this particular project. And it does have a really good amount of stretch. It's very stretchy. It lays pretty flat actually, which is really nice. It doesn't do too much curling. I find for me, with all of my projects, I tend to curl up a little bit in the beginning of the project, but then once you get a few rows or rounds in on your project, they tend to flatten out, at least for me. This definitely does perfect with that. It's very beautiful, it's very nice, and the color is completely saturated all the way through. It's not like darker in some spots and lighter in others, so you definitely get the full color. And as I showed in the intro, you have this really beautiful Brights color, which is really, really nice, and then you also have this white color. Now it does come in more than these 3 colors. These are just the 3 that I particularly bought, because price reasons, really. Otherwise I would have probably bought like a billion of every color. But they're really nice. Just do take note that if you are going to be using their variegated variety of their cotton yarn, that it will be a smaller amount of yarn, because as we discussed, the solid colors are 3.5 ounces and the variegated ones are only 3 ounces. So it's 3 ounces, 58 grams, 153 yards, and 140 meters. So you will need to purchase more skeins of their variegated variety compared to their solid variety. So this is very nice, Personally, I really like it. It's got a good amount of drape. It's got a good amount of stretch. It's really soft for a cotton yarn, and it's very nice, and it is just wonderful and beautiful. So let me show you a sample project in another yarn that I use that is also a cotton yarn. So this is another cotton yarn. This is called the Field of Flowers dishcloth. You can go on my channel and find a tutorial for that on my channel. It is a new dishcloth pattern. This is using the Yarn Bee Sugar Wheel Cotton Solids yarn that is currently discontinued. And it is a number 3 weight compared to this other one that's a number 4 weight. But this one is a little more drapey and a little softer. This one, in my personal opinion, I would say it's similar to like a Karen Simply Soft, if Karen Simply Soft were cotton. And this yarn is not quite as soft as the other one that I just showed, just not quite as soft as this one. It has a little bit more structure and it's a tiny bit stiffer, but it's still really soft and great for clothing. Whereas we have this yarn, which is Peaches and Cream, which is a little sturdier. It's still pretty soft for a cotton yarn, but it's a little more structured and sturdy compared to this yarn. And then we also have this yarn, which I believe is also Peaches and Cream, which is more structured and more made for like dishcloths and sponges and stuff like that. So it does compare. This one's a little more structured, and so it's not as soft. And so that is my overall thoughts on the softness. So where this lies on the spectrum of softness is it's in between a regular like Peaches and Cream yarn and in between a Yarn Bee Cotton Solids. So the regular Peaches and Cream, like this one, I don't know if this is exact Peaches and Cream brand, but it's very similar. It's more of a denser, thicker, rougher structure. Like I said, suited for like dishcloths, sponges, mop heads, that sort of thing. And then this one is more suited for clothing, so it's softer. So it's a little thicker than this Yarn Bee Sugar Wheel Cotton Solids, because this one, in my opinion, has more of the drapiness of, you know, a Karen Simply Soft. So it's kind of in between the two. And as for quality, I noticed it doesn't split too bad. If you do like poke your yarn through the fibers, it'll split a little bit, but it's not too bad. It holds together really well. I would say it's really good quality cotton. It is the perfect, in my personal opinion, amount of really drapey and soft and structured enough as well, so it's not super flimsy. And I find overall that it's a really great buy for cotton. So if you're looking for a really good cotton to make your next clothing project, I highly recommend this cotton, especially too because I was able to go down a whole hook and a half size from what the label said and still get a really nice fabric. It's just going to be slightly denser, but it works up just fine. So if you're an experienced crocheter, you don't necessarily have to go buy the 5.5mm hook that it recommends on the label. You could go for a looser fit and do a larger hook, or go for a smaller, tighter, more denser fit and go for a smaller hook. So that is my thoughts on the I Love This Cotton. The label is really nice, it's clear. Also, it comes with a free pattern inside the label. So all in all, I think this is a yarn that I will at some point be purchasing again. It is really soft, but not overly soft. And it comes in a beautiful array of colors. Again, this is just the 3 that I bought. And I don't know exactly how many colors it comes in, but it has a ton. There were so many colors, I could not choose which ones to buy. And if you would like to buy this yarn, you can buy it on their website at hobbylobby.com, or you can go to your nearest Hobby Lobby store. And I actually recommend you go to the nearest Hobby Lobby store because twice a month for a week each, they have 30% off all of their yarn. One week they do 30% off yarn, the next week they do 30% off fabric. At least that's what the cashier told me when I went in. So I got 30% off this yarn. Now I don't know if that extends to their website or if it's only in store, but you should go to your Hobby Lobby and check and see if that is the week for 30% off, and you can pick this up for 30% off. It is such a great yarn. I absolutely love it, and I really think that you're going to enjoy working with this yarn. I know that I'm enjoying it for the design of my new pattern, and I think all in all it is just such a great yarn to use. So if you like this video and you like this kind of content, then don't forget to like the video, turn on the bell notifications, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want, you can check out my current crochet vlog that is now live on my channel. Here we do vlogs, product reviews, crochet patterns that I design, and tips and tricks for becoming a better crocheter. So if that interests you, stick around and subscribe to the channel.